Hey everyone, this is Benno of Night Laser, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast with Bruce. Joy.
One, two, three, four. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
Yeah, I got you loud and clear. Long time no.
Yes,
How are
perfect.
you?
Yes, I'm good. I'm good. Good to see you, man. How are you?
Good. I haven't talked to you since we did that film a couple of years ago.
Yes, I remember.
What have you been up to? A lot, right?
A lot. Oh man, don't get me started.
I
A lot
follow
has
you guys.
happened. Yes.
Yeah, I follow you guys online, and you seem to be constantly playing and constantly touring and grinding, huh?
Yeah, as much as possible. Really, it's yeah. I mean, we've all started working full time now, so it becomes even harder to keep that balance and
Right.
to be able to tour. But yes, we do what we can, and so far we're still doing pretty good, I think.
Nice. And then the deal with Steamhammer, right? Or SPV.
Exactly. Yes, that
That's
was like big step for us. Huge milestone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and the record I just listened to it a little bit ago, "Call Me What You Want," is pretty fantastic, and it carries on that sort of theme that we covered back in the film, that sort of good time rock and roll vibe. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, we still are the same people, and we love what we do, and we love to show that we love what we do.
Right. I love the nod to while it's not a replica of the '80s, it's the nod to the '80s that I think is the best thing of the bunch.
Yes, I totally agree.
So when you're writing, well, let's start here. What's been the response to the record so far?
Um, Really good, I would say. I would love to say overwhelming. And some people are overwhelmed, but in general, like if you go by the review critics and so on, it's generally they like it a lot, but they're not like overly enthusiastic. It's like 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, so
Right.
around that region.
Do you feel like, and again, we covered this in sort of in the film, but do you feel like oh, hang on, we got extra guests. Do you feel
Yes.
like you're carrying a torch for, that sort of music? Because I know it's not the most popular thing in the world, but there are still hardcore fans, right?
Absolutely, yes. And I do have that feeling that we do just that. Hi, Benno. Hey,
Hey, hey,
nice.
Hi Bruce, good to see you again.
you too.
Yeah,
Good to
sorry
see
for
you.
for the hold up. I had a little bit trouble getting out of work, but now I'm
It's
here.
all good.
Yeah, don't worry. I've been home for like 3 minutes, literally.
Yeah, which is like the exact time that we wanted to start. So
Yeah,
Nice.
perfect.
All
Um,
good.
yeah, but as I was saying, Benno Bruce just asked me whether we feel like we are kind of like carrying the torch for that kind of music that we do, and my initial response was, yes, I do have that feeling. Like even when we started, it wasn't true back then, but we had the feeling that we were pretty much the only guys around here playing that kind of music. We've learned that there's other bands, but also we've learned that we've been in the business longer than most of them. And yeah, that there's a lot of young audience coming towards this music also because of us, because they come to our shows without knowing what to expect. And then afterwards they come to us and they're like, guys, great. I've never been into glam metal, but now that I've seen you guys, I'm going to listen to, and they start up the
Right.
list, like all these bands. So yeah,
And they have fun because that's what the whole thing is about.
sure, absolutely.
If you want to
exactly.
go listen to death metal and get your angst out or do whatever, that's great. But when they come see like a Night Laser show or, that kind of music, it's definitely more for, I guess Brett Michael said it the best, right? Nothing but a good time.
Yeah,
Pretty much, yeah. Also, I have to say that especially with the new album, and well, actually with all of the songs that we did, there have always been some that it's still joyful music in a way, but also the lyrics, they tend to get very like socially critic and so on. Benno, you can probably say more to that.
yeah. I think the music is what makes you go like into party mood, but once you have that checked, you don't need to overemphasize it in the lyrics as well. It's been done so many times, and you can still party your ass off to a song, which is like for example, like Youth Gone Wild by Skid Row, which is a solid banger, but it's not a feel-good song when you look at the lyrics.
Right.
That those guys, Sebastian has been pissed off when he wrote like
Right.
that stuff, right?
That's a song of a generation, though, right? I mean, when I hear that
Exactly.
song, and that's what I think about, the song of the generation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
pretty good example.
like when you go to our shows, of course, it's about having fun because that's what we do on stage. We're smiling nonstop, and even though I sing about stuff that is terrifying me deep inside, or something that really pisses me off, I can still have a good time on stage. It doesn't have to be contrast.
Do you is there something you want your fans to take away from or walk away from after listening to a Night Laser record, especially the newer one?
We do have the general theme of the record itself. Actually, we have two. The first one comes from the title, Call Me What You Want. So this is kind of self-reflective in a way that there have been so many attempts to put our music into a certain genre-specific draw. It's like, okay, these guys are hard rock, heavy metal, glam metal, whatever. So there's been a lot of attempts, and none of those really, to our feeling, describe what we do. So what we said was like, okay, we'll just do what we love, and we leave it to you guys to call it what you want. So that's like the name of the title. That is the first major topic. The second one, I guess, would be superheroes in a metaphorical way. Benno.
Which ties into
Yeah,
the cover art too, then, right?
exactly. It's just one part of the songs. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to give the album a name that is not a song title, because we've done that so many times, and but we love the idea of having it like a phrase from a song. That's where "Call Me What You Want" came from, and the song that it's taken from is called "Don't Call Me Hero," which is about the everyday heroes in our lives, especially during COVID. There were so many people that did so many great things to keep society going, and every day when you go out there, so many people that bust their ass to um, take care of people in like the elderly, the sick, the physically, mentally handicapped people. So, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Doctors, fire workers, firefighters, whatever. You got all those, and those are the actual heroes. And when people call musicians heroes or rock stars, I'm like, this is so wrong, because
Right.
we can do what we love, and we have such a good time doing that. And there are people out there working so hard and they do it every day. We just do it like every other weekend.
Right. And
Uh,
in the end, you can kind of do it because of them, right? Because they're keeping you
exactly,
safe and doing that sort of thing, right?
exactly. Every, ever so often we play venues that are run by people that just do it because they love it so much. It's not about the money. It's like volunteer work where they just have a club that they run on the weekends, and they don't make a penny out of it. And we have the chance to play that venue without those guys. So those are the actual heroes. And that's why we came up with the whole thing in the cover and in the artwork, with us having like the Thor hammer and the shield or whatever.
Right. So when you guys were writing this and were you all able to write together? I don't know what your geographical location is, or you sending stuff back and forth?
Both. Which
Both
is,
actually.
yeah, because four of us are located in Hamburg. Um, and we do live kind of nearby. And our drummer is located in Brunswick, which is about 170 kilometers from here. So we did all kinds of things. We send messages or parts of songs back and
Right.
forth. We got together every now and then to jam or to play the songs together. So all that.
Okay. So going through the record and preparing for this morning, where the heck did Fiddler on the Roof come from? How did you guys decide to put that on there?
Yeah, Benno, that was your idea, I think.
Well, I don't really know. Well, the theme, like throughout the song, you've got like this theme, na 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 na.
Mhm.
na. That was something that actually came up. I mean, and you hear that every now and then, but it came up in my dream, and I woke up and I had like, I got my little piano app out, and I was like, oh, that's it, and I kept it in my mind. And the actual idea of having a song, when you listen to the song, when you listen to the lyrics, you probably won't get it, but it's about a guy. a guerrilla war veteran that has to protect his family from an evil invasion of a dictator,
Mhm.
which
So
might be a little
timely.
bit like current events.
Yeah, very
Maybe.
timely, right?
Um, However, the idea that it came from was when Rob and I were hiking in the Norwegian mountains. We, you spend a lot of time thinking about stuff, and we do. At one point, we were like, "You remember this old computer game that we played when we were young, Jack the Lions 2? The whole theme, the whole topic, the whole story of of the game was like we should do a concept album for that one." Well, we didn't do a concept album, but we did a song for one character in the end, which is the fiddler on the roof, a guy standing, and his fiddle is actually a sniper rifle that he uses to take out the bad guys.
But we need to do that concept album at some point
We
because
still we still
we had
do.
so many ideas for songs that could evolve out of
Yeah,
this because the topic itself is so huge. But yeah, this
yeah.
is the first one that Benno came up with.
Nice. So I know you guys write in German and in English. Do you find it more difficult writing in one particular language over there? I know you're German, but does that make sense?
Sure. I have to say,
The
I think
phrasing and everything is different, right?
the only song that we have that is in German actually mostly consists of names. So I don't know how hard that writing part was. No, Benno, I'm just kidding. I know it was crazy.
Yeah, it was. So the song that you're referring to, Über Allmann,
Hmm.
on the current record, it's just a list of city names that we've played in. Like the song "I've Been Everywhere," that got famous through Johnny Cash, where he's like
Hmm.
listening up to Reno, Chicago, Oklahoma, Minnesota, and so on and so on. And we decided, why don't do that? Because we had time left in the studio.
Hmm.
And back in the day, we did another song in a very specific kind of German that is just spoken by very few people in the far up north. And those
Like a
are,
local dialect.
yeah, like a local dialect. And those are actually
Uh-huh.
the only two songs that we have that are actually in German. So I would say usually we write in English, and I think it comes more natural to us as well to write in English because this is kind of it's English is the language, in my opinion, the language that suits best for rock and heavy metal. There are exceptions, but most of the time it's just what we grew up with that sounds right and that has the nicest flow to it, I would say.
Okay. So when you guys are writing then, and you're from release to release, are you thinking about not writing the same record? Does that make sense? I mean, you want to stay true to Night Laser, right? But you don't want to write the previous record, or you
Well,
do. I don't know.
I guess it would be pretty hard for us to do this actually, regarding that our former main songwriter left the band in like 2019. So he was the main writer for the first three albums.
Gotcha.
Um, After that, we had three new members. Benno took over a lot of the songwriting itself, so the whole process was completely different, and the influences were completely different. So
Right.
the question, I guess, would be: will our fifth album be similar to our fourth? Because the fourth one is completely different than the other
Right.
three process-wise. Um, and for that, I would say it's hard to tell because I don't have the feeling that we ever write with a certain goal of creating a specific kind of album, but we just do whatever feels right and natural. And that's also the reason I think why the songs on the current album are stylistically very, very broad, you know? Like
Right.
there's like Laser Train is like almost like a boogie metal song, and then you mentioned Fiddler on the Roof, which is completely different. Then we have Bittersweet Dreams, which is yeah. So there's like a broad spectrum, and I think if you can say um, this is kind of what our next album is probably going to be like as well. Benno, correct me if you think differently.
No, I'd say it's pretty much like what you said. The only thing that at some point happens to me, and I think know the other guys, and I think it happens to you as well, is that you listen to a certain kind of song that we did in the past, and like, yeah, we should do something like that, but just way better, because we've gotten better. throughout the time, or more mature or whatever. Or at
Right.
some point, you listen to a record and like, yeah, oh, we missed out on this chance. We should have taken that approach on that song. But I don't do something similar, maybe, but do it different and better
Right. Yeah,
because
because I
that's
get
what
that. You
happened. It
want
happens
to
all the time.
alienate your fan base, but you also don't want to, write the same record from 2019 as well. It's got to
No,
be some sort of hindsight
no.
and, rewriting. What does this look like on the road? Are you guys? I know you said you're working full-time jobs, but are you doing festivals in Europe, or how's that working out?
We will, yes. So festival season is just about to start for this
Right.
year. So there's going to be a few. It's not that many as it used to be, for several reasons. I guess the main reason would be that we were so busy with all the album processing and the songwriting and putting it out there, and so that we didn't really get around to that much of booking. But yeah, what we just did in the last months, for example, was a Germany tour together with Freedom Call. So we've been driving all around the country, which, in the case of Germany, by US standards, isn't that far of a distance, but still
Mm.
to us, it meant like 4, 5, 6 hours on the
I
road
just
every
got off
day.
the I just got off the phone with Chris, or a Zoom with Chris from Freedom Call.
Oh,
All right,
sweet.
nice. Yeah, cool.
It's before you guys, yeah.
Right, so
Awesome.
they are still touring, I think. It was like the first leg of the tour that
Yeah.
we went along with them.
They're
Yeah.
going out with Rhapsody of Fire.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, right.
exactly. In September or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what he said. At some festivals over the week. I mean, over the
Yeah.
summer or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah,
So
but it
you
was
guys-
great. Sorry.
Was it a good time?
Yeah, I wanted to say it was really, really
Yeah.
great touring with Freedom Call there. So nice people. Such
Upbeat and happy.
awesome guys.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as with us. They are having a good time on stage. Everybody in the audience is having a good time. So it's just about, like, I don't know, celebrating the joy of and love for music together. And
I
Yeah.
think it's great, and I think people need the distraction from the world we live in just to be able to separate, even if it's for whatever it is, a 45-minute opener set or
Yeah.
an hour and a half, 90-minute headliner set. That time that you can disconnect and just have a good time, watching musicians and everybody's kind of on the same wavelength is probably what it's all about.
yeah, I remember when we were on tour with them, the last night was the only chance that we actually had to really enjoy their entire set. And I was so happy the entire time that I finally had the chance to. It's been a month for me to go out and watch a band because there was so much going on and I didn't have the time. And just to stand there and party my ass off to a band felt so great.
That's great.
I really needed that.
So are you guys planning on continuing with the singles, like the new business model, where singles every 6 weeks or something, or are the singles done and records out?
Kind of mixture of both, I would say. So officially the releases of singles are done with the release of the album. We do have a few like in the back pocket that are already produced. We will release them at some point, but it is not coupled to any like album release anymore. It's still songs from this album. We have the videos in place, and yeah, we just need to see when it makes sense to put them out.
Right. Yeah, no, because everybody's digest music differently now, right? I mean, they're digesting it in 3-minute clips. The whole album thing, like I'm used to, or probably even maybe you guys, I mean, is sort of like a dying breed. But I like that you did it.
And
the
I think
whole
we will continue to, most likely. Yeah.
The sequencing is a whole art form that's, I think, becoming a dying thing as well, right? Because when you put that record together, you want to create like a sort of mood and atmosphere of ebbs and flows, and you put a lot of thought into it, and then people just rip one song and kind of, I think, lose the feel of the record. Does that make sense?
It does,
Yeah.
yes. I think luckily within the heavy metal community, the classic album is still much more appreciated than it is
Yes.
in other genres.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And then, so going forward, what do you have next?
So we got our first open air show in 2 weeks, which is going to be Sicking High Rock, which is in Western Germany, close to the French border, together with among others Hell in the Club, which is an Italian band that I really love. They pretty much do the same style as we do. And then it's festivals through the summer. We're going to release, I think, after the festival season, we're going to release the first of the videos that Rob spoke about.
Oh, nice.
If I'm correct. And we already started the writing process for the next album.
Oh,
of
you're
course.
kidding? You're that far ahead?
Yeah. Well, finally we are. For the last record was like during COVID, we were like, we should start writing right now. We should write so much. We finally got the time. Turns out we didn't.
Well,
but
and
no,
we didn't have the musicians as well. We had to reform after COVID.
That's true too. Yeah. So we started pretty early now, and we wanted to be done. We want to be done with the next record as soon as possible because we're in a pretty creative mood at the moment.
That's great. Strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
The goal would be to have like in the future like a 2-year schedule for records.
That would be nice.
Right.
It
was 3 and 4 years in the past, and that's just way too long for us. Yeah.
Right. Need to get you guys on 70,000 tons of metal.
Oh, that would be so sweet.
That'd be great. Oh yeah.
I've been every. There's nothing like it.
You have done it, I take it?
I do the reporting on it. I do podcasting from it for since 2011. Yeah, there's nothing like it.
Okay, I wasn't aware. Wow, nice.
We're gonna put it out there in the universe that 2025 you guys are sailing to Jamaica with us.
All right.
Oh my God.
Let's just start telling people, and eventually it will happen.
Right. We'll speak it into existence. Right. So here's what happens though. If it happens, you both owe me a beer on the main deck.
If it happens, I will pay you a whole night of drinking on the deck.
No, just a beer is fine.
All right.
That's all I've got, man. Did I miss anything you want to cover?
Well, one thing that I always we're being asked these questions a lot, like what are you like, not final words, but last words on this episode or whatever, is the one thing that we can't that we can still hold on to is live music, because there's so much going on with AI, with, like you said, albums don't matter anymore. 3-minute or 2-minute 30 songs. It's just about hook lines and getting people's attention as fast as possible. And I think the only thing that is very hard to take away from us musicians and the fans is live music by proper bands, by just a bunch of retards like us who just go fucking crazy and enjoy the time. Sorry for saying retards, by the way.
I'm good. Also, if fans want to find you guys, can you give us all your socials?
Sure. Instagram would be Night Laser Official, all with an underscore. Then we have www.nightlaser.de. It's all together. Facebook /Nightlaser Official, all one word, and so forth. Basically, just Google for Night Laser Band. You'll probably find most of it.
I appreciate you guys taking the time. Always been a fan, so glad to see you again. Glad to see you doing well.
Can I ask you one final question?
Please, ask away.
Well, I think you've asked plenty of people by now. So what's the common opinion about a hot dog being a sandwich? I remember you asked us last time, and I've been thinking about that a lot.
Hold on one second. We had you on here besides the. You've been on the show before?
Yeah, for our last album, Power to Power, and you asked us if a hot dog was a sandwich, and it was about the bun being joined or not joined, about where you put the meat, and
I can't believe
I love the question so much.
Yeah. No, we had a real discussion. I think Dave Hill was there as well.
Oh yeah, Dave. I remember. Yeah, Dave did a. Chris was out for a little bit of time, and Dave took over for me. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, the answer is split down the middle, which is oddly enough, but I still say it has to be a sandwich.
Jesus Christ.
All right. You're still saying no?
We talk about it when we're on the cruise over a beer, right?
Yes. So did we ask you about the soup one too?
A cereal soup.
Cereal is a soup. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love that one too. I forgot about that.
No, I have to think about it again.
I don't even remember. What was your answer?
I think
it has to be.
Cereal was a soup, yeah, because there's cold soup and
right.
There's also the soup with milk. So yeah. serious.
Has to be the suit, yes.
I don't remember you guys being on it then. I remember the movie, but I didn't remember you guys were on the with Dave. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, no, it was, yeah.
Interesting. That is all I had. I hope it wasn't too bad. Like I said,
Oh, it
always
was nice.
That was
Thank you
perfect.
so
Thank you
much.
so much for having us. Really
awesome.
nice.
Be well. Good luck with the record. I know it's been out a month already, but hopefully it picks up here and does well for you. And I will see you on the main deck. I'm putting it out there.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so
Looking
much, man.
forward to that. Thank you.
Be well, my friends. Take
Bye.
care. Cheers.